If you don't have these baits tied on first thing in the morning during the shad spawn, then you are missing one of the best bites of the season. This one bundle has everything you need in it to smash those bass when they've got the feed bag tied on. This is the whiteout drop from BuzzBaits. It is a limited run bundle and group of baits that you can buy individually that's built to match the hatch during the chaos of the shad spawn. Like I said, the best part about this, it's not one bait, it is a bundle of baits that are designed to keep that shad spawn bite going later into the day. What's great about the shad spawn and this kit is that you don't have to have a boat to take advantage of the shad spawn, because the bass are going to be chasing those shad where they spawn in places like marinas, boat docks, boat ramps, riprap, any sort of bank that's got something hard. That's where the shad's going to be spawning and the bass are going to be there feeding. Hey, BassGeek here, and we're going to be breaking down the BuzzBaits Whiteout Limited Drop Kit right now. I'm going to show you how I keep the shad spawn bass biting later into the day with these baits. We're going to show you the underwater footage of what they look like and the incredible action they have to boot. So you can actually buy this stuff. There is a bundle. We'll put links in the description to everything so that you can go out to Bizz and get it from their site. But you can also go out if there's just particular items that you want in this drop. For example, these spinner baits, you can simply go out and get those alone. So if you want the whole kit, feel free to go get it. But I'm going to show you why you should pick up one of the kits, because of the way you can fish it as the sun comes up. So one of the very first things I like about this kit is the whiteout blades and skirts on their spinner baits. They come in two sizes. This is the 3/8 ounce and this is the 1/2 ounce. I love BuzzBaits spinner baits. They're a great design. I love the big oversized eye. The hook is a super slick hook, so trust me, it slides right into the jaw of those bass. You barely even have to set the hook. The skirts are wire tied on, and these are some incredible pearl blades. They also have a couple different types of buzz baits. You've got the skirted buzzbait, and you've got this buzzbait. And I'll show you what I like to put on that, which also does come with the kit in just a second. I think both of these are 3/8 ounce, and again, what I love is the pearl painted blade, and with the skirt, again, you've got the big eyes, the wire tie, and the incredible hooks that are super slick on both. And the one that doesn't have the skirt on it has an incredible keeper. I'll show you how that works in just a second. Next up is something that has been long awaited for BuzzBaits to release, and that is their first swim bait. This is called the Swimming Minnor. This color matches up with everything. This is Pearl Magic, and what I love about it, it's already got a hook slot in the back, and it's incredibly soft. And last but not least, when those shad move off the bank, this is the go-to, and this is the Minnor in Pearl Magic. Now let's talk about how I mix and match these baits to keep that shad spawn bite going later after the sun comes up. Hey, before we go on, one of you awesome geeks reached out to me and got this discount code right here to Boat Effects. You see that green mount back there? They make some pretty awesome mounts that have boat locks on them. So you're not going to unscrew those. You're not going to get them out. They protect the entire mount down to the deck of the boat. That way, you don't have to worry about your purties going to somebody else. Go check them out. Here's the code again, 5% off. Great boat steps too. Be safe out there. So this is the buzz bait, and I love, and it's really whatever the bass tell you, but I'm always starting with a buzz bait with no skirt. It's just who I am. You fish what you have the most confidence in. And this, I'm going to team up with this, the 4-inch swimming Minnor. And I'm going to show you exactly how to rig this and how it goes up on this keeper. So the same sort of thing you want to get your nose just past the little notch there. And we're gonna pick where it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out pretty far back, and that's what you want with this bait so that they don't miss and hit the tail. Gonna go straight through that center, come all the way out back toward the back of the bait, and then you're gonna make it nice and fat, push it up, have it just cover. You can see it won't pull off, and there you have it. You've got a bait that's ready to go. This will help keep that bait higher up and give it a little extra lift, which is why I like the paddle tail on the BuzzBait. So setups on these baits are extremely important. You want to make sure you got the right setup so that you're landing these fish, so that the rods are doing the fighting for you and you're getting them to the boat, get them in the boat, or getting them to the bank, get them up on the bank. When it comes to the BuzzBait, I'm also going to use my BuzzBait rod. This is a 7.5 TFO Taction, and it is a medium heavy fast action because a lot of times I'm going to throw this in places where I'm going to have to get some bass out. I don't like a lot of give to my BuzzBait rod. When they hit it, I want to set it and get them to the boat because it's a lot to throw. 7.5, if I was you, I'd probably go with 7 foot, but I want to get that bait as far as I can, and I'll give you a tip on why a little bit longer rod will help you get the BuzzBait running right from the start when we go talk about how to fish this bait. But I've got that coupled with a Daiwa, and you can tell this is an old school Daiwa 8 1-to-1, so high speed, and this is a Tatula. They don't make this certain type anymore. I will put a link in the description to the newest Tatula that's comparable. This is one that you can throw on braid to a mono leader, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw it on mono, and I like 14-pound test. So like I said in the beginning, you can fish the shad spawn. It is a great time on lakes for the bank angler because they're going to be in places like seawalls, riprap, points, any sort of hard surface, but a lot of different places that you're going to be able to get to as a bank angler. I'm going to just touch on these baits as we run through. And one of the baits that I'm going to start with, it's got to be a BuzzBait first thing in the morning. And when you see those shad jumping, popping on the surface, a BuzzBait is an incredible way to get a big fish. I call a BuzzBait the jig of topwater. So if you get a bite on a BuzzBait early in the morning, it's probably going to be a big one. Now, a couple keys to the BuzzBait and fishing the shad spawn is that you want to make sure that you're getting that bait going right from the beginning, and that means making sure you make that cast, stop it before it hits the water, and get that reel handle turning right as soon as that bait hits the water. You don't want it to sink, you want it to be turning immediately when it hits the water. Now when it comes to hook set, give it a beat. When that bass comes up and hits it, wait till they turn back down. Do not set on the splash. You'll jerk it away from them. Wait just a second. One Mississippi, hook set. That is, you know, if you don't, you will not catch them. And sometimes, trust me, seeing that bass come up and hit it, you'll react just because it's so intense when they do knock the crap out of that BuzzBait. The BuzzBait's what I'm going to start off with early in the morning. I mean, right before sunup, and I'm only going to fish it unless they're really on it just a little bit after it starts getting safe light. The most important part about tying a knot is that you have confidence in it. The Pitsine knot, for example, is a knot that I've tied for a long time, and it's something that I have a lot of confidence in. Basically, all you do is double it up, spin it around 4 or 5 times, pass it through the top loop, and cinch it down. cut the tag in, and you are ready to go fishing. So a lot of times I'll throw a spinnerbait with no trailer at all. But for the shad spawn, I really like something that's going to give a little extra action, and that's exactly what the 4.5, the Minnor, does. Now you could put the swim bait on here, but a lot like a chatterbait, I think it kind of messes with the blade action a little bit. So I like a little more of a straight tail. All right, so as always, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that I've got it measured up. Just put my thumb right there. I can see I'll put a little pick in where it's going to come out. Going to go right through the center of the bait. Come right through there, get it as straight as you possibly can, and right out the top. Dead center. You want to make sure you come out the dead center of the top. Then you push it up over that keeper, and there you have it. We're ready to go fool some bass into thinking this is a juicy shad. This is the TFO option, and this is a 7-foot medium heavy fast action. Perfect for the spinnerbait. Now I like the TFO 7-foot because I can be accurate casting. The shorter the rod, the higher the accuracy. The longer the rod, the longer the cast, but a little less accurate. This is coupled up with one of my favorite reels. This is the VLD 10 by Fitzgerald, and this is a 6.5 to 1. I like a 6.5 to 1 because it's kind of that tweener speed. It's a speed that I can go pretty quickly with, or I can slow roll. And a lot of times during the shad spawn, that's exactly what you want to do, is slow roll this bait. This is going to have the co-poly from Canine Line, which they call fluoro. And the reason why is because it's got a little bit of stretch to it so that I don't jerk this bait away from those bass when they peck at it. I'm going to run 12-pound test on this. And guys, I've got a 10% off discount to Canine. Go check them out. And this is going to be the major player to me as the shad spawn goes on. I'm going to be able to throw it out there. You know, if they're up shallow, sometimes you can burn it, but most of the time, at least on my lakes, because they get deep fast, I'm going to slow roll this. So retrieve wise, it really depends on the water depth that you're fishing. And since I fish some pretty steep, deep lakes, slow roll is the way to go for me. Now, hook set, I'm going to 45 that sucker, but I'm going to get that rod tip down. These things have got big stout hooks in them. I'm going to get them to the boat. I'm going to get them boat hopped, and I'm going to get them in. So not included in this kit, but you can get it on their website. This is the ring roller. And this is sort of the last bastion of the day when they're feeding on those shad and they're moving offshore. There's two things that I want to do. I want to A, be able to throw the swimming Minnor, and then B, I'm going to go to the Minnor. But to start with, we're going to put the swimming Minnor on here. Now what's great about this is even fishing a swim bait, this has a welded ring in the head. So it gets a very unique rolling action while swimming. These come in several different sizes. This also has the BKK Super Slick hook in it. I'm going to start with my swimming Minnor, and again, you're going to measure it, which I've already done, and I'm going to come straight through the top, go back and out, and push it up on there. And there you have it. You're ready to go. One of the best bang for the buck rods that TFO makes is the Professional. They just redesigned them last year. I've got some on the way and I cannot wait. And these are, I think, $130 rod for the spinning and most of the bait casters. This is an incredible little combo. This is for both my swimmer and my Minnor. So my swimming Minnor and my Minnor. which I will use later in the day, and I can just swap out basically using the same head. This is a 7-foot medium action. Going to be able to get a long cast out of this. It is a fast action, so when I need to set the hook, I can. When I need to shake the bait, I can. I've got that teamed up with the K9 Pro 100, which is the 100% fluorocarbon. The reel that I've got paired up with this is a Daiwa, and I cannot say this right, Revros, R-E-V-R-O-S Light. It is a 3000 series, and so far it's done an incredible job. We've caught a ton of fish with this little combo. Now, as the sun gets up and they stop biting that spinnerbait, this is what I'm going to go to on the ring roller. And I'm going to get a little bit deeper. I'm probably going to use a size up from this. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to do the same thing I do with the spinnerbait. I'm going to slow roll this. I'm going to throw it up shallow. I'm going to let it sink to the bottom, and then I'm just going to start reeling very slowly. I want to feel that bottom every once in a while. I'm going to fish this down a little deeper than that spinnerbait can get to. And that, as the sun starts to come up, and the shad start to pull back off that bank into a little deeper water, is going to get you a few more bites. Now, when it comes to hook set on this, I'm pretty much, with all my spinning rods, I'm going to pretty much come straight up. But I'm going to quickly get that rod tip down so that they don't jump. I lost a good one this morning on the Minnor just because of that reason. He hit me, kind of surprised me, and I didn't get the rod tip down in time. He jumped twice, third time he come off. That's what you want to do with this. Hook straight up or a 45 and then get that rod tip down so they're not jumping out of the water, or at least the least amount that you can put up with. Once we get into those later hours of the day, 10, 11, noon, it's time for the Minnor. Now, Match the Hatch, they do have two sizes in these. This is the 4.5. I like this during the shad spawn. A little bit bigger. I mean, if there's smaller shad that I'm seeing, I'm going to the 3.5 version. But again, we're going to rig it on the ring roller, and we're going to rig it the same exact way. We caught some pretty good ones doing this last year as the day went on. As far as fishing this goes, if you don't know, and you don't have a live scope, what you're going to do is you're going to target those bass out there. You're going to see that shad. They're going to be around them. They're going to be feeding. You're going to throw this down, and you're just going to shake the ever-loving snot out of this thing. Especially right now, it's warm. They're aggressive. They're feeding. One of the things I like to do is get them to turn on it and play a little bit of cat and mouse, get it away from them, speed it up slowly. But I try not to let it get too far. Like, you don't want to have sudden jerks, so you want to be really smooth with your retrieve. And you want to make sure that it's shaking, and as I say, you want it to stay on their nose. When they bite it, you're going to feel it pull, you're going to set the hook, and again, going to be a straight up or 45, and you're going to go down and to the side to try and keep those bass from jumping. Sometimes they can be pretty close to the boat. That's not always going to be the case. You got to do your best. So the whiteout drop by BuzzBaits is incredible. Like I said, you can get the whole bundle, or you can go buy the baits you want in particular. That's what I love about this, and I love the shad spawn, and I love that BuzzBaits has come out with this because it really gives you everything you need. And like I said, you can fish this and the shad spawn from the bank or from the boat. It really doesn't matter. Again, links will be in the description. Make sure you go check this limited time dropout. Otherwise, if you want to see some other cool baits by Bizz, make sure you go check out this video right here. Otherwise, questions, comments in the comments section below. You geeks know I love to talk fishing with you. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell. Be part of the 100% Watch Squad. It's free. All you got to do is watch 100% of the videos when they come out. And you geeks rock.